Welcome to the Online Digital Marketing Podcast. We'll be discussing marketing strategies, trends, and tips that will help your business succeed in the digital age. Every episode, we'll be interviewing industry professionals and providing valuable insights on how to leverage digital tools for maximum engagement and ROI. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the latest trends in online marketing.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. So if you are a high-ticket coach, a consultant, maybe a course creator, you already know this. The complexity of your offer, it means you really rely on visibility and attention.
Mm-hmm.
You need prospects to consume your content. You need them to show up for your events. And I think most importantly, book that final high-value sales call.
Right.
But what happens if your messages are just going unseen? Well, your business stalls.
And that's really the core challenge we're tackling today. I mean, since 2020, marketing has just shifted entirely. It's like we left the information economy and slammed straight into the attention economy.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and it's all driven by these platforms designed for short-form, high-speed consumption.
Mm-hmm.
So our old standbys, webinars, well, show-up rates just cratered.
Right.
Advertising, post iOS 14 privacy changes became so much harder. And email deliverability. That's just a constant battleground now. The problem isn't your funnel anymore, it's just getting your message acknowledged.
Exactly. And that is our mission today. We're going to analyze the blueprint for an SMS marketing strategy that just cuts through all that noise. We pulled apart the sources to find the four, let's call them non-negotiable steps to implement this.
And the key part is that it requires minimal change to your existing sales funnels.
Right. Minimal change, but it promises maximum results because you're going where the attention already is. On the mobile device, this is a deep dive into compliance, infrastructure, and really high-value execution.
It really is the essential modern upgrade. You can have the best, $10,000 coaching program in the world, but if your follow-up email is just sitting in a spam folder, it doesn't matter.
It's useless.
The speed and certainty you get with mobile engagement, it just makes SMS a non-negotiable tool for anyone selling premium offers.
Okay, so let's start there. Let's really define the magnitude of this problem. For the last 20 years, the email list was king. It was everything.
That was the gold standard.
And we all got used to treating email engagement numbers as, the baseline for success. But when you actually put them side by side with SMS engagement, the difference is, it's genuinely shocking.
It completely redefines what acceptable engagement even means. I mean, if you look at the stats we pulled, the average email marketing campaign sees about a 20 to 30% open rate.
Okay, which sounds okay on its own.
It sounds okay, but then you look at the click-through rate, the CTR, that typically hovers between 1% and 2%.
1% to 2%. Think about that for a second, you. That means for every 100 people on your list, 98 of them, on average, are not clicking. They are not taking the action you want them to take. That's a staggering amount of wasted effort.
It is. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. When you look at SMS, the open rate is practically guaranteed. 99%.
Wow.
That's visibility you just cannot get anywhere else. But the real lever here, the game changer, is the click-through rate. It averages 15%.
15%. So that's not just a little better. That's a 15-fold increase in clicks.
Exactly.
So if you're currently relying on that 1 or 2% click rate to get people to your video training or your sales page, imagine just walking into your Monday morning with 15 times the traffic. That's the reality the sources are describing.
And we saw a specific case cited in the sources, a recent broadcast that hit a 41% CTR. It drove 750 clicks almost instantly.
That's incredible.
That kind of difference isn't just incremental. It's a complete change in momentum for a high-ticket business.
But hold on a second. If SMS is generating these, 99% open rates and a 15% average CTR, doesn't that risk burning out your list much faster than email?
That's a fair question.
Are you just churning through your leads because they're seeing every single message so aggressively?
It's a valid concern, and it really comes down to strategy, which we'll get into in a bit. But the data suggests that for high-ticket sales, the risk is absolutely worth the reward as long as you deliver high value with every single text.
So it's about quality, not volume.
Exactly. The goal isn't just sending more messages. The goal is securing that highest value action, a booked call. Email is like shouting into a crowded convention hall and just hoping your voice carries.
Right.
SMS is the digital equivalent of walking right up to that person, tapping them on the shoulder, and putting the direct link right in their hand. It just cuts through all the distraction.
So the outcome is clear.
Right.
This visibility translates directly into more traffic on your sales pages, much higher attendance for live events, and, ultimately more revenue-generating conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's start building this, what did you call it? This new digital shoulder tap mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
The first sort of foundational requirement is getting the infrastructure right.
Right.
That means picking the right software and, I think critically, provisioning the right kind of phone number. You need a platform that supports both automated sequences and bulk broadcasts, and then you have to do the mandatory carrier registration.
And this is where we have to get a little specific about A2P, that's application to person number types, because the number you choose really dictates your speed, your cost, and even your global reach.
Okay, so let's break down the options here,
Yeah.
because deliverability is everything.
For sure. So your first option is what's called a 10DLC, a 10-digit long code. This looks like a standard area code number, which feels kind of personal.
Yeah, I've seen those.
But the sources point out some pretty big drawbacks. You often need a US EIN or a US address. You're paying these ongoing brand and campaign vetting fees. And, maybe most frustrating, your sending speed is tied to this uncontrollable trust score.
E-trust score. So the carriers just decide how fast your messages go.
Pretty much. If they decide they don't trust your brand, your texts just crawl. It's like a speed bump built right into the system.
That sounds unreliable.
It can be, which
Yeah.
makes it less than ideal for, say, an urgent broadcast. Option 2 is short codes, the 5-digit numbers. They're lightning fast, but they are prohibitively expensive.
Thousands a month, right.
Thousands a month just to rent the code, so the sources are really clear. For most coaches and consultants, you can get similar high-speed results without that massive price tag by using the third option, toll-free numbers.
Okay, so toll-free numbers, the 1-8XX type, that's the strong recommendation here.
Absolutely. And the major draw isn't just that they're affordable, it's the pure, reliable speed. They bypass a lot of the vetting hurdles you see with a standard 10DLC number, and they offer typically 3 times the default sending speed.
3 times. That's significant.
It's mission critical for high-ticket sellers who need to broadcast an urgent webinar reminder or a last call for a coaching spot to thousands of people at once.
Okay, but hold on. We just talked about the value of that shoulder tap analogy, the personal touch. Toll-free numbers to me always felt a bit more impersonal, a little corporate.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any concern that using a 1-8XX number kind of detracts from that personal high-touch feel a coach is trying to cultivate?
That is a critical question. And the source material really addresses that head-on. It suggests the trade-off is negligible.
Why?
Because the immediacy of the connection, that 99% open rate, it just outweighs the slight perceived impersonality.
Yep.
You get trust through speed and the certainty of delivery, not through, the vanity of a local area code.
That makes sense.
Plus, for global consultants, this is huge. You don't need a US-based EIN or address to register one. It makes toll-free globally accessible. It's basically the express pass to the HOV lane. It's fast and it's efficient.
Okay, infrastructure secured. Now that we have the mechanism, what do we actually use it for? That moves us straight into the next step. Mapping funnels and goals. Our goals usually fall into, 3 categories: driving content consumption, boosting event performance, or just list segmentation.
And all of those are important, but for anyone selling high-ticket offers, we're talking $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 programs. We have to emphasize the absolute highest value goal.
Which is?
Getting a prospect onto a booked phone call with you or your sales team.
Walk us through that calculation again, because this feels like the core financial difference this strategy actually delivers.
Okay, think about it in terms of time allocation. An email-centric strategy often focuses on high-volume, low-ticket sales. Maybe you're pushing 80 low-ticket, $50 to $150 upsells over a month.
Right, trying to grind out 6,000 or 8,000 in revenue.
Exactly. And that takes dozens of emails, continuous optimization, a big list size. It's heavy lifting for, modest returns.
Very heavy listening.
But using automated SMS to drive just one cold prospect to a booked call that closes an $8,000 back-end coaching client, it eliminates all that noise. One close via an SMS follow-up is financially the same as 80 of those low-ticket sales.
Wow.
So the SMS strategy should just ruthlessly prioritize activities that lead directly to scheduled high-value sales appointments. Everything else is secondary.
With that highest value goal in mind-booked calls, we can move into implementation, the automations and the compliance. This is about setting the system to run 24/7. And there's one non-negotiable rule here, the immediate text rule.
This cannot be overstated. When a prospect gives you their number for a lead magnet or a webinar, you have to text them immediately. And I mean immediately, within minutes of them opting in.
Why so fast?
Because the second they walk away from that landing page, their attention just collapses. If you wait too long, even just a few hours, they forget who you are, they see your text as spam, and you get these massive opt-out rates.
Which can get you in trouble with the carriers.
Exactly. You risk carrier warnings or even getting banned entirely. That instant brand recognition is just vital.
So the immediacy is about engagement, but it's also about protecting your system's integrity. Okay, what about the legal side? Compliance.
Right. Compliance needs two things built into your process. First, you must get explicit permission to text people. You can't just assume it because they gave you their number for something else.
Oh, a checkbox.
Yeah, a checkbox, clear language. And second, you have to display clear compliance text on all the landing pages where you collect those numbers. This is where you state the terms, the message frequency. You have to be upfront that they're opting into a text program.
So once that foundation is handled, how do these automations actually work to get those booked calls?
Well, the automations are designed for that aggressive, high-touch follow-up that email just can't deliver. The main use case is just reducing no-shows for sales calls.
Oh, that's huge.
It is. You use tools like Zapier or native integrations to trigger automated messages, 24 hours out, 1 hour out, sometimes even 10 minutes before the call. That simple nudge drastically increases attendance rates.
I mean, the cost of a no-show for a potential $8,000 client is massive. That feature alone could justify the whole strategy.
Absolutely. And you can also use automations for simple engagement. They can start two-way conversations with questions that don't sound like marketing. Something like, hey, just wanted to make sure you were able to access the course download. Let me know.
So it opens a door.
It opens a door. These simple interactions are fantastic for qualifying prospects and uncovering sales opportunities that an email would just never capture.
And that sets the stage for ongoing engagement. So let's talk about that. Maintaining list health and consistent engagement through a monthly broadcast strategy.
Yeah, the list can't go cold. If you don't engage your contacts, you lose momentum and you also lose deliverability trust with the carriers. The requirement is really simple. Send manual broadcasts at least once a month to keep that list engaged and warm.
And what works best for a high-ticket audience in those broadcasts?
The sources suggest prioritizing events, specifically monthly workshops.
Yeah.
These are value-based events designed explicitly to sell your coaching or consulting packages.
Makes sense.
You can also use broadcasts for general content promotion, sharing your best blog articles, media appearances, that kind of thing.
And what about those two-way chats, the engagement campaigns?
Those are really powerful, but they require bandwidth. An engagement campaign is just a simple question designed to start a chat. Maybe you poll the audience. But because they can result in a flood of responses, it's usually best to use them on highly segmented lists.
So you don't get overwhelmed.
Exactly. You use them when you are staffed and you are ready to respond personally.
Okay, we've covered the blueprint, but now we have to talk about the risks. What are the hidden dangers you need to navigate to keep an SMS program effective without getting shut down or paying a ton of unexpected costs?
The first danger is purely financial.
Yeah.
The character limit. SMS messages are measured in 160 character segments.
Okay.
The moment you go over that limit by even one single character, the message is sent in 2 segments. It effectively doubles the cost of that one text. So you have to be hyper aware of your character count.
Character economy is key. So beyond cost, what's the biggest threat to actually reaching the person?
That would be carrier filtering. This is basically the SMS spam box, but it's way more brutal than email. If a carrier decides your message looks suspicious, too many links, too much promo language, they just block the message entirely.
So it never even gets to the phone.
Never reaches the user's phone. A strong deliverability playbook is a must. That means avoiding generic URL shorteners and making sure your links are always clear and relevant.
And what about the immediate danger when you're just starting out? I know the sources had a really strong warning about importing old lists.
A huge warning. Never, ever import old contact lists without reconfirming that explicit permission. It's so high risk because you'll hit a ton of inactive numbers, which creates high error rates, and you'll get huge opt-out rates from people who don't remember you.
And that combination is a red flag for the carriers.
A massive red flag. It immediately signals malicious activity and can get your number banned. Permission is always mandatory.
And we touched on this, but it's worth repeating. The primary driver of high opt-out rates is waiting too long after the opt-in.
Correct. It's the forgot who you are problem. You create so much friction if you wait 12 or 24 hours. They signed up, they forgot it happened, and now they're opting out. That immediate text rule is your core defense against this.
This brings us to a really powerful story from the sources, one that shows the financial value of having more than one channel. It was a cautionary tale. A major coaching business, their long-standing email program, just suffered this massive, debilitating deliverability failure.
Yeah, their whole domain was essentially blacklisted. Everything was going to spam. Their revenue was in immediate danger.
Total crisis.
It was a crisis. But because they had already built out an automated SMS program, that channel was able to step in and basically carry the business. They used SMS broadcasts to promote their live events and coaching applications when their email was completely silent.
Wow.
So it wasn't just a revenue generator at that point. It was critical revenue protection. It really proves that SMS is essential not just for growth, but for business continuity.
That's a powerful point.
So the core takeaway here is this. In the current, super competitive, super distracted attention economy, just relying on traditional channels is a recipe for being ignored. SMS provides that necessary, aggressive, highly visible follow-up that you need to make sure those highest value activities actually happen.
Getting people into your content, onto your events, and booked on your sales calendar.
Exactly.
It really is the essential modern upgrade for high-ticket sellers. So you got the four-part structure now. Secure the right toll-free infrastructure, define your highest value goal, which is book calls, automate that immediate follow-up with compliance, and execute monthly broadcasts. It's a powerful path to ensuring your offer is actually seen.
And here's a final thought for you to mull over as you integrate this into your own business. If this SMS strategy is like building a private, high-yield garden for your leads, and compliance is the legal deed to that land, consider this. Which part of your current funnel is suffering the most from a lack of watering? Is it the forgotten lead magnet, the event no-shows, or the missed follow-up on those critical sales calls? Automated SMS could be the vital irrigation system you're currently lacking to really maximize the yield of every single lead you acquire.
Ready to take your online business to the next level? Subscribe to our digital marketing podcast and then join our Accountability for Success Mastermind. With expert advice from industry leaders, you'll gain knowledge and insights that will help you succeed in today's digital marketing world. From social media strategies to search engine optimization, we have all the tools you need. Learn from successful entrepreneurs and take control of your online success. Join the Accountability for Success Mastermind now at bit.ly/AFSM podcast.